وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثله بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما شيئا أن يقول له إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون. صدق الله العظيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة.
Assalamu alaikum, good evening and Sham Bakhair everyone. Thank you for coming out here tonight and making Free Kisan, Free Pakistan a success. It's always amazing to see how the collective efforts of each and every one of us makes projects such as these possible. Ladies and gentlemen, our fundraiser tonight is unique in the sense as it involves individuals who are an integral part of our daily lives. So much so that we owe our daily meals to them, and it is the fruit of their efforts that adorns our tables. Yes, you guessed it. We are referring to our farmers, Kisan and Hais, the persevering souls that toil tirelessly day and night so that we can enjoy the bounty of nature in the comfort of our homes. For a country like Pakistan, where 80% of its economy is based on agriculture, farmers are cardinal contributors to the annual GDP. Ironically, our country is still in the clutches of feudalism. And so this makes these farmers the most vulnerable, neglected, and abused sector of the society. Sadly, their efforts feed millions, and yet their own kith and kin sleep hungry every night without even a decent roof over their heads. The gist of tonight's event can best be explained by a verse from Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal. जिस खेत से दरकां को मुयस्सर नहीं रोजी, उस खेत के हर खोशाए गंदुम को जला दो. While the feudal lords and their families sickeningly indulge themselves in enjoying the profits, which, by the way, they owe to these farmers, these poor individuals are bullied into begging for every single penny that they have rightfully earned, helplessly trying to hold on to the last few inches of land that they have before it is usurped by their feudal lord in the name of some debt that they have owed them for generations. Well, without further delay, I would like to invite our very own talented writer and poet, Zahida Tawfiq Ahmed, to come and express her views on this topic. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Zahida Tawfiq Ahmed.
My dear children, dear sisters, brothers, and my dear friends, Assalamu alaikum. पहले तो मैं बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ डॉक्टर फारिया बुखारी का, जिन्होंने मुझे मौका दिया आपसे गुफ्तगू करने का। लेकिन गुफ्तगू तो होती रहती है, मैं आपको इस प्रोग्राम के बारे में नहीं बताऊँगी। आपने बहुत कुछ पढ़ लिया है, सुन लिया है। फरहाना ने बहुत कुछ आपको किसानों के बारे में बताया है। मेरे ख्याल में आज हम बात करते हैं कैफियत पे। कैफियत कैफियत हालात के ज़ेर असर होती हैं। हालात परमानेंट होते हैं, कैफियत वक्ती होती हैं। जिस तरह के हालात होते हैं उसके ज़ेर असर कैफियत होती हैं। कैफियत की भी कई किस्में हैं। आसूदा कैफियत, दुखी कैफियत, खुशी का एहसास, जो भी आप इजहार करते हैं वो आप कैफियत के ज़ेर असर होते हैं। क्योंकि हालात को बदलना बहुत मुश्किल है। हालात को अल्लाह ताला ही बदल सकते हैं या हम इंसान कोशिश करते रहें, इवन अपने लिए या दूसरों के लिए, तो वक्त लगता है हालात बदलने में। कैफियत बदल सकते हैं और कैफियत हर वक्त चेंज होती रहती है। कभी बहुत ज़्यादा तकलीफें होती है, कभी बहुत खुशी की। मगर सोचने की ये बात है कि अल्लाह ताला ने ज़मीन पर इतने सारे इंसानों को भेज के उनको मुख्तलिफ कैफियत अदा कर पेश करती हैं। देखिए, यहाँ आने का मकसद आपको कुछ बावर करवाना नहीं है। मेरे जहन में भी अभी यही बात है कि क्या गुफ्तगू करेंगे। मैंने कहा चलिए कैफियत में बात करते हैं। अब कैफियत को अगर हम दो ग्रुप में बांटते हैं, इंसानों के दो ग्रुप ले लें और उनकी सिचुएशन दो ग्रुप में बांट दें, तो एक आसूदगी की कैफियत है और एक दुख की कैफियत है। अल्लाह ताला ने इंसानों को जमीन पे उतारा और उसको दो ग्रुप में बांट दिया है। एक को खुशी सुख दे दिया है, लेकिन हर वक्त का नहीं है। मैंने यही बताया कि टेम्परेरी होती है कैफियत, लेकिन दोनों के पास इन कैफियत को हल करने का मकसद है। दो ग्रुप जिसे हम बांट रहे हैं, ये ग्रुप है खुशी की कैफियत में मुब्तला है, ये ग्रुप है गम की कैफियत में मुब्तला है। तो जो खुशी की कैफियत में मुब्तला हैं, उनके पास ये मौका है कि जो दूसरा ग्रुप है उसकी मदद कर सके, लेकिन आप एहसान नहीं करेंगे किसी पे, क्योंकि जो गम में मुब्तला है वो आप पे एहसान कर रहा है कि उसकी सिचुएशन ऐसी उसकी बनी हुई है या अल्लाह ताला ने उसके ऊपर दोस्ताना आजमाइश डाली है कि आपको उसकी जरूरत पेश आ गई, उसने आप पे एहसान कर दिया कि आपको उस काम पे लगा दिया, उसकी बेहतरी के काम पे। अच्छा, ये कैफियत को बदलने के लिए बहुत सारे अवामिल हैं। सबसे बड़ा अमल है हुस्न अखलाक। जैसे हमारे शायर हैं, हमारे मजहब में हमारे हुजूर हमारे रसूल करीम मोहम्मद मुस्तफ़ा सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने, या हमारे कुरान में पैगाम है। लेकिन मैं रिलीजन टॉपिक पे बात नहीं करूंगी, क्योंकि मैं अपने आप को इस काबिल बिल्कुल भी नहीं समझती। इसलिए मैं शायर की बात करूंगी। शायर तो हमारे बहुत आला पाए के ठहरे हैं, लेकिन उस शायर की बात करूंगी कि जो बहुत कम पॉजिटिविटी पे, यानी इस तरह के अखलाकियात तो हुस्न खुल्क पे बात करते हैं। ये हैं हमारे शायर का एक शेर है ख्याल हुस्न में हुस्न अमल का ख्याल, खुद का एक दर है मेरी गोद के अंदर खुला। तो शायर ने भी कह दिया है कि हुस्न अखलाक का सिर्फ ख्याल हुस्न में हुस्न अखलाक का ख्याल आना ही आपको जन्नत की खिड़की दुनिया में दिखा देता है। तो आप सोचें, जब आप उस पर अमल पैदा होंगे तो आगे तो आप खुद ही अक्लमंद हैं, सोच सकते हैं। हुस्न अखलाक में सबसे अच्छा या हुस्न अमल में सबसे बड़ा अमल है सखावत का। जैसे पहले फराना किसी और जगह पेश कर चुकी हैं, लेकिन मैं दोबारा दोहरा देती हूँ। सखावत सिले और सताइश से बाला तर मोहब्बत का अमल है। अगर आपकी अमल से किसी को फायदा पहुंचता है तो आप समझें कि आपकी मोहब्बत सुरखरुई के समय में शामिल हो गई। मोहब्बत जिंदाबाद। मोहब्बत वालिदैन से भी हो सकती है, मोहब्बत इखलाक के तौर पे अपने दोस्तों से, लोगों से, मोहब्बत मजहब ने सिखाई है और मोहब्बत पाकीज़ की देती है, मोहब्बत आला अल्फा मकाम देती है, इसलिए मोहब्बत जिंदाबाद।
Jazakallah, auntie. Very thoughtful indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Free Kisan, Free Pakistan is a non-profit organization registered in Arizona with a 501c3 status. It is the only international organization that is focused on empowering farmers against feudalism in Pakistan. The organization has indulged in extensive political activism internationally to raise awareness regarding the plight of Pakistani farmers. Issues such as bonded labor, enslavement, and feudalism have been taken up with the authorities at a local and international level. Our success stories include, but are not limited to, donating 104 lactating cows to single women farmers to boost their livelihoods, setting up 9 large water tanks in Jafarabad, Balochistan, where people were denied access to clean drinking water, providing high-quality seeds to farmers free of cost, restoring and renovating government schools in downtrodden rural areas, providing free ambulance services and free clinics for villages such as Doda Khan, and many such ongoing projects that are looking forward for your support and your contributions. For more information, you're welcome to visit our website at fkfp.pk. And now, I would like to invite the brave lady who has single-handedly borne the burden of this Herculean project. She's a successful doctor, a mother to 3 beautiful children, and in spite of the demands of her career, she fearlessly crusades to empower the Pakistani Kisan to free them from the merciless clutches of feudalism. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Faria Bukhari.
Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends and my lovely sisters, my dear brothers. I have been working with you. You have seen me since 2010, and the journey started with Sukoon when I went in the interior villages of Pakistan to deliver free healthcare, did a lot of free medical camps, and it was right there on the ground that I realized the harsh reality that no matter how much I give to them, I cannot change their life till I get rid of the plague of feudalism in Pakistan. So that is right there and then that I realized I have to make an organization, a platform that raises awareness internationally about the plight of the 115 million farmers of Pakistan. Pakistan has a population of approximately 200 million people. And out of that, we have 3/4 involved in farming, living in the rural sector. 64% live in the rural sector. And a rough estimate is around 115 million. This is for the last census. We don't have the latest census report. So, whatever poverty we see in Pakistan comes from the rural sector, from these villages where there's hardly any infrastructure. In the cities, we have a lot of NGOs working in the field. We have 3 or 4 ambulance services competing against each other to pick one patient. In Doda Khan, where we have launched this ambulance service in Gandaka district, there's nobody. We are the first ambulance service that is free of cost, delivering, rescuing patients. And so it is very important to work in areas where nobody's working, and that has been my basic strategy, to go to areas where nobody wants to go. When we did the free medical camps, we went to areas where nobody wanted to go because they were so high risk. We went to Rajanpur, we went to Kashmir in Sukoon, and very high risk areas, kidnappings, it was the norm over there. And And then now when I went to Balochistan, I went to this area, it was a nightmare. It is the Ethiopia, it is even worse than Ethiopia. At least in Ethiopia you have a lot of international NGOs working. I've even been to Thar, even Thar is better. Even Thar is way better than what's going on in Balochistan, in the area where we are working. There's absolutely no infrastructure. Kids literally they are sitting on the floor, on the mud, and trying to study. It's not. It's just a myth that Baloch don't want their kids to study. They do want their kids to get educated, but they don't have the resources, especially for the girls. There are no schools beyond 5 years. So we renovated a couple of government schools whose roof was falling off on the children. And actually there was a kid who died in Kandaka because the roof fell off on the child. And so we renovated that right away, emergently. It was a Saturday, I called the DC and he was very gracious enough to give us the NOC to start the construction right away. It was not part of my agenda or our organization's agenda, but it was like an emergent situation we had to take care of right there and then. And then the ambulance process started when I went there for a free medical camp. And after we saw a lot of children and women because there were hardly any doctors around. They had to walk for hours to be able to get hold of a doctor. So they were very happy to see us. I had no intention of setting up a dispensary or a clinic or even an ambulance the day I went there. But when I went there, it was a nightmare. The stories and the horror picture I saw over there forced me that I have to take initiative right now as an emergency. So that's when I started the VSAFE project, which is a virtual clinic project where we basically set up a dispensary with a compounder, and we're trying through internet technology to have consultants from Karachi give free medical care to the farmers, their families in Dola Khan. So that has already been launched. And then the second day I was there, this Baloch woman, she came and she brought her daughter who was very, very sick. And I was like, I can try to manage her in the clinic, but I'm not a tertiary care center. It's just a simple OPD clinic. I can try to give her some fluids and I can try to give her some antibiotics. I told her that you should take her to the nearest tertiary care center. And she was very reluctant to do that. She said, we would rather have our daughters die than take them to a city to be seen by a doctor. So you do what you have to do over here in the clinic. So in the middle of the night, at midnight, I was trying to take care of this girl who was unmarried and who was by herself and who was very sick and septic. And her brother was standing outside with a gun in his hand. It was like one of those situations where, you just have to do what you have to do. You're trying to save a life here. So literally, I didn't have any logistic support. The host was like, it's a girl's issue. If you tried to take her anywhere, we're going to have like a tribal war over here. The guns are going to come out. So you have to be very careful. I'm not going to help you. Our host was very nice, but he said, we have to be very diplomatic about things over here. Because it's a Baloch girl's issue. So they're talking about honor and everything. Even though she didn't have any those kind of issues, but still they took it as an honor. So I had to fight with them. I had to fight with the host. I had to fight with the girl's family, with the mom, with the brother carrying a gun. I was like, listen, we have to save her life, okay? We have to take her to Larkana. That's the closest. She needs surgery. And I gave her antibiotics. I gave her intravenous antibiotics. I gave her painkillers. I gave her fluids, but I could not resuscitate her. She was just going downhill. And I knew she needed to see surgery ASAP. And she needed to go to a tertiary care center. She was in septic shock. So finally they agreed, and I took her myself. Finally the host agreed. So I took her myself in the middle of nowhere from Doda Khan village at a 3 hours drive to Larkana. And that is when I realized that I have to start the ambulance service. There's no way these people can survive. And they told me about horror stories, mortalities, how many women die in childbirth over here. how many kids die because they're not able to reach in time for simple things like appendicitis or cholecystitis. The nearest open tertiary care ER is in our complex, 3 hours away from there. So, and they don't have the money to pay for the transport. They don't have the resources. So that's when we launched the ambulance service, and alhamdulillah, we got a lot of support from some very good friends of mine who said they will take care of this project. And so it's running, and we have been able to rescue 38 very critical patients. And I have already published the ambulance logs online, and they will be available to you if you need them. And then coming back to what we did 2 years ago, we did our last fundraiser that was for our single mother farmers. If you remember, I remember a lot of you were there and you gave us a lot of support. We raised about $60,000 through that fundraiser for the single mother farmers. And alhamdulillah, we have donated 104 lactating cows to 104 very deserving women in the interior villages, and they are so happy and they're so empowered. We also have a follow-up. We are probably one of the very few NGOs that does follow-ups on our projects, because it's very important to make sure that whatever money was spent went in the right way and it was not abused or misused. So we went back after donating the cow to make sure that they were making the best out of that cow, and alhamdulillah, we got so many success stories. All these women are zakat eligible, all these women are sadaqah eligible. These women have no one earning for them. They're living on $1 to $2 a day. Their main source of income is during the times of harvest, where they go in the farms and they pick cotton, they pick basic crops, and the landlord gives them $2 a day or $3 a day. If they're very lucky, $3 a day. But they usually have 6, 7 children, and they're usually abandoned. Either they are widowed, or they are divorced, or their husbands have abandoned them, left them. They're either addicts, or they are not caring for them, or they've gone to the cities and they're by themselves trying to make it work for their children. So these are women who are basically at the lowest level of poverty in Pakistan, who have nobody earning for them, who do not have any respect. And alhamdulillah, we're not just talking about money over here. You know how it is in a feudal society, in a village where a woman has no value, a woman has no honor, especially a very poor woman who has children, who's young, unfortunately. She gets exploited. So now that they are strong, they're earning, they use the milk, they sell it, the kids drink that milk. They are so empowered, alhamdulillah. They have a respect, they have a self-confidence. They are not business women. They have plans. Like one of these women we met, and she said that she had no plans to get her daughter married through the income she was getting through the cow. So this is something, we are trying to empower, trying to bring a revolution at the lowest level of poverty in Pakistan, trying to bring them to a level of middle class where they're able to fend for themselves. And these are people who are very quiet, who are there in large number. Safed Posh, I call them Safed Posh. You will not find them on the streets. They are not begging. You have to look for them. You have to go to their houses and you have to look for them. These are our Safed Posh people who will not be coming out on the streets begging for you to help them. They are sitting in their houses waiting for something good to happen to them. And we do verification. We have a very strict verification protocol. And the first thing that happens when we go to a village and we're telling them we're going to do something good is that all the influential people will give us a list. And we discard that list. They're like, oh please, we have a list of our own. And I'm like, no, sorry, we don't care for your list. We are going to do our own investigation. Verification is very important. It is absolutely important that the cow is given to a woman who is the most deserving, and there is no favoritism, and there is no embezzlement of money in there. So our team goes to each and every woman's house, goes to their neighbor's house, makes sure that they are really deserving, and this is not fake before we give them a cow. And then after we give them the cow, we make sure we have follow-ups. And then also in the area like in Chelamai, Ranamai, where we have worked, we have monitors. We have set up people who basically do espionage for us, kind of a thing. They will monitor, make sure that that woman is still getting benefit from that cow and nobody is trying to abuse her. So we have a 24/7 hotline. If something is happening, if something bad is happening, we get a call right away and we take care of it right away. So we're not just okay, it's a one-time gift and giveaway. We make sure that we follow up and everybody makes the best out of it and it goes to the right person. So this was what happened to the money you guys gave us 2 years ago. Now I have another 100 women. So we're talking about another $60,000 I need to raise to be able to empower another 100 women. And we are really short. We only have $7,000 in our account because we have given away all that we collected from people, from donors, to the rightful, deserving beneficiaries. We also started Operation H2O in Balochistan. They contacted me. People had to walk for hours and hours to be able to get hold of clean water. They were literally, the kids were drinking water from the same pond from which their animals were drinking. I'm not exaggerating, I've seen it with my own eyes. There are mosquitoes, there's a lot of mud, there's no infrastructure. It is like going in the Stone Age. So we had to bring water that was potable, that was drinkable, that was clean from miles and miles away. And I posted the details of this earlier. I have given details of the 9 water tanks that we have set up. And they're already on Facebook, they're already on WhatsApp, they've been sent to you. I can send them to you again. We did 9 water tanks. And we still have the $7,000 that was donated for the water project. So we are planning to do more. And there are still a lot of areas in Balochistan that still do not have access to clean water. So we're still working on it. But we need your support. We cannot do it without your support. And the people, and then I did the follow-up. In December, January, I went there to Balochistan myself to follow up on the tanks that we had built almost 6-7 months ago. And mashallah, we had such great results. We are talking about not just 10-15 people. We're talking about thousands and thousands of families who are now benefiting from these large water tanks. It has been amazing to see how much difference it has made in their lives, because water was a luxury that they could not afford before. And they had to walk, the women had to walk for miles, and the kids used to get sick from drinking dirty water. And we've also done lab testing on the water we're delivering, and mashallah, it is good quality water. When I did a follow-up, everything was very good. One tank, they said that the water quality had changed, so we went back there and we did another boring, and we got water from another source, and we fixed that problem. So it's not that we do it one time and forget about it. We make follow-ups. We make sure that the water quality remains, good, and people are still benefiting from it. So that was our Operation H2O. And then I spoke about the We Rescue, the ambulance. I spoke about the We Sehat, which is basically we want to set up more dispensaries in different areas, because the problem is we have a lot of quacks. We have a lot of fake doctors. In some of these clinics, I'm seeing a lot of malpractice happening where they're using the same needles on 100 other patients, creating an epidemic of hepatitis. So we have to counter that by creating healthy alternatives like We Sehat, where we deliver free medical aid that's also good quality. So that is our We Sehat project. We have the We Rescue project. And then we also have one project. One thing that I saw was that a lot of people were homeless. And these people had been homeless since the 2011 floods. They said nobody came. Except for Pakistan Army, nobody came to them to help them. I'm quote unquote, I asked them, I was shocked. I said, आप 2010 से आप लोग ऐसे ही बैठे हुए हो, आपको किसी ने कोई सपोर्ट नहीं की है. And they said only Pakistan Army came and helped them, but nobody else helped them. So what we did was we picked up a few houses, people, families that were really deserving, that were living like under those sheds. They made like hay sheds, and that's how they were living. So we have started to build houses, like one-room houses, and you can see some pictures. Alhamdulillah, they are so happy. You can't even imagine how happy they are. They say, oh, this is a palace for us. That one room is a palace for them. It cost us around $1,000 only. In $1,000, we gave them a roof where they could, live with dignity and honor. Because they were literally living with their women and children in the open, out in the open. So, Alhamdulillah, they were so happy, they were so obliged, and they're giving so many prayers. And these are all sadaqah eligible, these are all zakat eligible. So, and I pay for the overheads from my own pocket. None of the money will go into the overhead cost. The cost of this fundraiser is being managed by me. And then the food is sponsored by Curry Corner, that's my sister-in-law's restaurant. She is sponsored the iftari, and then the food, the main entree is a beautiful woman, a Afghani woman, whom my kids call, she's like the second mother. She's been my kids' nanny for years, and we still love her family. And I just asked her, she's from Afghanistan, she's an Afghan refugee. And I just asked her, I love her food, and I said, why don't you cook for this iftar? And she said, okay. I said, I'll pay you. And she said, no, don't. I'm going to just bring it free of, no, I'll take care of it. I'm like, are you sure? So it's sponsored by her. So please give her a big hand, because she didn't have to do it, but she took the trouble, and I really appreciate her family for doing this for the Pakistanis. And then, so basically, this is a synopsis of the projects that we are doing right now in Pakistan. We're also doing environmental campaign through school children, and we are starting another project soon. But right now, what I need is to focus on the women. The money that I need you to donate to is maybe a cow, $600. With Mar Faja, brother, will also talk about it. From Ramadan's perspective, from philanthropic perspective, but these are women that nobody's working for. And this is a gift that multiplies. I mean, one cow is now 2 cows. In 2 years now we have 2 cows, so a total of 3 cows. So now she's building her own farm, her own livestock industry. It is so effective. It is a time-tested model. It's been done in different corners of the world. In Pakistan, we're doing it for the first time, and we've had great results. So we need to raise 60,000 for these women, and that is my priority from this fundraiser. And I hope you will be generous and you will think about these women during the Ramadan time, because they're looking forward to it. Every time I go back, and they're like, when are you coming back? When is my cow coming? I'm like, yes, it's coming. I have to raise funds for it. So they are waiting. They're waiting to be empowered. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much for sharing all that information with us, Fania. And I'm sure with all that information, it's going to help bring forth your philanthropist side. Please remember, your donations is going to help empower these farmers and help them get back on their feet, and it's going to help us fight feudalism in Pakistan. I would now like to invite Imam Didmar, who is the Imam of the United Islamic Center of Arizona, opened in 2014. He's a member of the American Imams Federation, founder and organizer of the Quran competition for the state of Arizona, a member of the Arizona Police Reports, founder and director of Greenway Academy. He has written various articles on Islamic topics in Albanian and English, and is a religious and spiritual advisor to the Naqshbandiya Foundation for Islamic Education. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Imam Didmar.
Thank you so much. I think since the time for iftar is going to approach very soon, I believe in about 5 minutes or a little bit over 5 minutes, we can probably break the fasting today, and then after that we can do the Maghrib prayer, and right after that we'll give short time to start the food, and right after that we start with the fundraising, inshallah. I'm thinking probably around 8:10 approximately we may start with that. I'll not keep you very long if you're going to donate good tonight. Alright, thank you.
Yes, if you'd like to, please. Yes, I think that would be great. Please.
Inshallah, we can start, since we have that 5 minutes, we can do some Quran reading. Hoping that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept our fasting and will make us from those who will reflect and ponder upon those verses as well, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. صدق سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة. It's time already. Here. I have the time. Bismillah. Hold this on. Hold this on. Okay. That's fine. Bismillah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر. الله